unboxing is the wildly popular Wings of Fire middle grade series by Tui T Sutherland, who lives in my town. My son is like one of her biggest fans, and let me tell you, that is a high bar because there are many, many fans of all ages for this series. But now it's been turned into a graphic novel series. And so this is the 7th book, Wings of Fire, Winter Turning. And I would have to say that the graphic novel series is just as popular for my son as he finds the middle grade books. And I was so excited that I was getting this book. But even though he's read the book, he almost enjoys it's almost like a reread and seeing it in graphic novel format. And also my son goes to Pratt, so he is, an arty person. And I think also just seeing the story evolve like in illustration form, I think is also like part of the appeal. And you can see from this graphic novel, it's in full color. But there's like some scenes that look less color because it's like depicting, kind of this Iceland, like this icy world that they live in. The thing about Wings of Fire, I think the reason why it's so wildly popular, because I read a bunch of them with my son when he was in like elementary school and middle school, is that it has exceptionally good pacing. Like you're just riveted, you know what I mean, following the story. There's never a point where it's slow or you feel like, this chapter is dragging a bit. Like Tui has an incredible like sense of where it might be slightly boring, and she just like does not let that happen. And the other thing about it, I think, is her characters are really, really memorable. Like even though there's like, honestly, there's so many different dragon like species, and they all live in different like ecosystems, and then within each dragon type there's all these different characters. So I mean, the whole Wings of Fire world, in terms of number of dragon characters, it's like quite an astonishing amount. But she makes each character so real and vivid that you really feel like invested in these characters, in these dragons, and you want to know what happens. And she also sometimes weaves characters from one type through, like they'll be popping up in like throughout the series. So like you might have one character that you're kind of very committed to, and then as the series progresses, like it's different stories, it's different types of dragons. And so, but every now and then you'll kind of you'll be like, oh wait, I remember that dragon from another book. And it's kind of like, you know what I mean, when they have like a cameo, and it just kind of makes it like, I don't know, it makes it more exciting. And I would say the last thing is the creativity in the plots is, I would say, unparalleled for a series. Like a lot of times it's like you have a series that's action adventure, and it starts off pretty exciting, and then like I'm taking Dune for example, which is not a children's series, but like Dune, it's like the first book you're like, incredible imagination, incredible plot, incredible everything, and then the second book you're like, that's a clunker, and then the third book you're like, incredible, and then the fourth book you're like, that's a clunker. But Tui just nails it, like every single book, every single and even some of the plots, like I just marvel at her creativity and how it just really keeps you like wanting more and turning the pages. And these are definitely books that are like flashlight, you know what I mean, like you want to stay up all night and finish it, even though you're going to pay the next day because you're not going to have any sleep. But anyway, very excited for this book. My son is actually home from work. He's a camp counselor because he has COVID, and so I'm going to hand him this book, and it's going to make him so happy. So thank you to Scholastic for sending me Wings of Fire, book 7, graphic novel, and thank you for watching.